last week, you guys had met up with the lizard people in their current home. Discovered that they have an alliance going with a couple of other races. That they're worried about the Sanhili. Did I pronounce that right again this time?
Mm-hmm.
The monstrous underwater folk who worship a shark god. Uh, you ingratiated yourself with some of the leaders uh, around there, went to a nice dinner, and were eventually shown to rooms that you could stay in. After playing a card game with Carly at one point, at which one of you was given won a spell scroll. All right. So at this point, you guys, is there anything you guys wish to do before you turn in for the night?
Um, I'd like
I'm
to.
good.
Sorry, go.
No, I just said I'm good.
I'd like to inquire as to how big Thousand Teeth is.
All right.
See if I can get a sense of its size.
Roll a investigation check.
Not great.
Yeah, you ask around, but everybody you talk to, unfortunately, only speaks Draconic and does not speak Common.
Well, I speak Draconic.
Oh, you do speak Draconic. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so let me go around with only one of the people you end up talking to in Draconic. They're worded out that they you do speak Draconic. Uh, says that they saw they saw Thousand Teeth, but from their perspective, Thousand Teeth was something huge, something that could probably eat them in one bite. This particular lizard folk is a bit on the small side, though not a child anymore, and they have a bit of scarring on their scales.
So not exact size. Okay.
Yeah, none of the people you managed to find to talk to know the exact size of Thousand Teeth.
See that mountain in the background of the homepage? That's like one of his teeth.
Ooh. Crocodile Dundee.
What about the rest of you? Anyone else have anything they wish to do before the night is out?
Hmm. Do we have any fresh meat from things we've hunted?
You might still have fish.
Everybody ate everything from this feast?
When it comes to the lizard folk, yeah, between the lizard folk and their guests, not a scrap is left behind.
Yeah, I don't have any fish at the moment, but we could probably go fish some up.
We should have something to distract it. Might make it easier to kill.
Yeah, if we could lure it out into like a trap or something, That's why I was asking about how large it was, because I have a spell. If it's large or smaller, I can set a trap for it, like an actual trap. But something told me it might be a little bigger than that if it can eat somebody whole.
Do we still have that nasty, weird, clear poison? Because maybe we could put some on this fish, or put some on some fish that I catch, and then trick them into eating it.
Yeah, I still have that.
Not a bad idea.
Anyone else have something they wish to add?
Noxie would hand at the mention of the poison, would hand it over to I don't know who to trust with this, actually. I guess I'll hand it over to Dovin.
I'll thank Noxie and go ahead and I guess I'll pocket it for now until we have the fish. Well, no, I'll go ahead and hand it back to Noxie and tell you to hang on to this until we have the fish, and then we'll go ahead and use it.
She would tilt her head at you, kind of quizzically.
Well, you've done a great job holding on to this so far, and we don't want to poison the fish now before we go to sleep, because otherwise the fish is going to go bad before we can give it to him.
Did they say this thing was in the river, or what?
It's about an 8-hour journey if you're walking on difficult terrain overland. To where that is. It's a few hours away for normal lizard folk travelers over in their hunting grounds.
But does it have an area it swims, that it stakes out as its territory?
From what you know, its lair is about 12 miles away. It has a range that you've probably heard about at this point of at least a mile. Let's see if there's anything more specific on that real quick. So I'm going to go with it sometimes wanders within about a mile of the of its terrain. However, it is said that it's actually more like 3 miles. 3 miles around its terrain. But it said that it has a specific home, some kind of pool, that's in the middle of its territory.
I'll ask them if they know that there are other crocodiles that
Roll an investigation check.
void it.
Yeah, the lizard folk you end up talking to. Are you using Dovin or anyone else as a translator?
I have to.
Yeah, I can
So I'm
translate
gonna
for
go
him.
with you using Dovin as a translator. Unfortunately, all the ones that you end up, finding to try and speak to about this matter, don't seem to have any further information about it.
Find out when we get there. Might be something else to talk to help us with it. See what else swims in its waters, if anything.
Might not be much. A big creature like that probably has a pretty big diet.
Yes, but something that big would make good eating for any other predators around if it was dead. And they might want to be there. They might even help.
That's a good point.
Jump in the water when we get there and take a look.
Can also have our captain talk to the birds. She's pretty good at that.
Does anyone have anything else they wish to do before the characters go to sleep?
I'm good.
I think we should have watches. Not that I don't trust lizard people, but I don't trust lizard people.
Are you saying this in any language that Oceanus can understand as well? Or are you just talking in common?
Probably in common.
It would help you sleep better. We can set up watches. Though I think we are safe.
Well, at this point, we've got 3 sea elves, so if we put Oceanus on it, we
Oceanus looks up at the sound of his name and smiles a bit at Lubu.
I just look over at him. I'm like, well, we're thinking about doing watches for tonight's sleep.
Ah, okay. He responds in Aquan. How about I take the first watch then? I can keep an eye out. I don't need to go to sleep right now.
Sounds good to me. Guys, he wants to take the first shift if that works.
That's fine.
Thank you very much, Oceanus. I'll give him a smile and a wave because I know he can't understand me.
I'll be up the second half of the night anyway.
Alright. So you have watches established. You've been given some quarters by the lizard folk as guests that you don't have to share with anybody else other than you guys. And you have some, reasonable bedding. It's mostly just, hammocks and the occasional throw made out of some kind of hide or fur. But not like the mattresses you might have in other inns. So, but during that night, I need to see Dread.
Yes.
Hello, whispering. For a dream sequence.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, this isn't a dream that you haven't. Sorry, this is a dream that you've had in some way, form, or another before, where your companion over on the Shadowfell, the Reaper, has come to visit you to speak with you. You kind of know that you're asleep, because it's a more of a dark space, but you're standing, walking around, and not sure where you were a few minutes before. So this has become an occasional occurrence. And you see the shadowy form of of the Reaper companion, pretty much the shroud that she's always in. It's kind of hanging loosely around her. She seems to turn to you. It seems you're off to face something rather nasty.
Well, we must always face something nasty in this life.
That is true. I've been doing some scouting of the area, at least on my side of things, and I have seen several pockets of the one undead that I do not reap. And this is something a phrase that you're familiar with that I unfortunately neglected to mention to you beforehand and out of character, so I'm really sorry. That the one thing she talks about not reaping because there's something different about them, plus she has some kind of odd connection to them, are shadows. It says, there are pockets of shadows in the area on the side. I might be able to convince some of them to help out with this situation if things are taking a rough turn.
That would be appreciated.
Just call out for me. I can ask them to deal with it if lives are in danger. I think they'd be quite interested in a large crocodile like the one you referred to, as Thousand Teeth. It's an ancient creature.
Do you know how large it is?
It's harder to tell on this side of things than from yours. I mostly see its imprint in the shadows and the memory of the world. And it is quite old enough to have left quite an imprint. The occasional dead that still wander through the Shadowfell from it. So do be careful, and if you think you might need a shadowy assistance, just ask.
I will. Thank you for contacting me.
You're welcome.
Yes. Does seem like a good way to die.
So, eventually, after your watches that have gone through and nothing untoward has happened, none of the lizard folk come to bother you, no other beings come in and try to cause trouble for you or even introduce themselves. And you guys eventually all wake up refreshed, probably a bit hungry at this point, even though you had a big feast the night before. It's still morning and you're about to go on a dangerous trek. What would you guys like to do?
I think Lobu will just move right on back to the dining hall, assuming that there's going to be breakfast there.
Yeah. Since there wasn't much in the way of leftovers from the night before, which is typically breakfast, instead there is some smoked fish and some nicely raw fish set out on plates, along with a few mildly cooked swamp tubers.
Ooh, these are weird looking. And he'll just start dishing up and not worrying about etiquette.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be too much etiquette right now with the lizard folk. Some of them are watching you with curiosity simply because you're a seal. And other than those of them that are attending the dinner the night before, they really haven't seen seals previously. But since you're walking around like this, they kind of figure you have the Queen's blessing and leave you alone.
If I don't see any of the people following me into the dining hall, any of the group, I'll just load up a plate extra big and run back to the room with it.
Right. Just as you start loading things up, Carly walks in with her cupcakes, mostly fish cupcakes this morning. She grins broadly over at Lobu. Hey, how's it going? You guys sleep okay? What about the rest of your little group?
Oh, I didn't check in on them too much. I smelled these weird swamp tubes cooking, I think, and came right over. They're real good though. Not as good as your fish cakes.
She sets out one plate of fish cakes, and some of the lizard folk has kind of eyed them up, and one of the younger lizard folk who are in the hall, not quite an adult, but not entirely a hatchling, takes one and starts chomping on it. Well, you're more than welcome to have one. So, where are you and your crew headed today?
We're gonna kill a gigantic crocodile.
Ah, is that 1,000 teeth I've been hearing about?
You better believe it, Carly. And we're gonna get in good with these people, and then they're gonna be our friends too.
Excellent. I think you're great at making friends, Libu. She leans
Thank
over
you very
and pats him.
Did you want to come, or are you still doing business here?
No, as I said, I'm not much of a warrior type. I'm more of a businesswoman. So I think I'm just gonna stay here and hope for the best with you guys. I really do hope to see you guys again and that you don't get eaten by 1,000 teeth. Apparently, it's over to eating various lizard folk. And lizard folk tend to revere crocodiles.
Yeah, I was a little curious about that. Have you heard how big this guy might be?
I've heard some conflicting reports, but... And she puts a finger to her lip and pats it for a moment. And then she leans towards Lobu a bit conspiratorially. But if you ask me, I don't think it's much bigger than large.
Good to know. Good to know. I just realized that we're leaving here, and we're not really. We came here as your protectors, and we didn't even really check in with you. Do you feel safe?
Oh yeah, I feel safe. These people are fine. They don't have any interest in hurting little old me. And besides, I think I might be able to get good with some weapon deals here. I mean, it's not everything I brought is toys. Although I did bring some of that too, and I think some of the hatchlings are quite enjoying it.
Very good. Well, you seem like you've got your own mission for sure. I'm gonna bring back a couple trays to the rooms. Would you want to bring food back to our room and see if everyone wants to eat breakfast?
Oh, sure.
And yeah, Lobu picks up a bunch of stuff. He puts a couple of those cooked swamp tubers in his mouth as he walks and brings stuff back to the group.
Carly brings out her cupcake tray. All fish cupcakes this morning. Hello, everybody!
Hello.
I hope you guys have a good appetite. I have more fish cupcakes for you.
Oh, that sounds good.
Hi, little guy. And
Perfect breakfast.
She starts handing them out. Oceana smiles and takes one too and nods to Carly.
Noxie will take one, but I don't think she's ever eaten one.
Yeah, she prefers the chocolates. So, if Noxie's going to eat one, roll me a Constitution saving throw. Let's see how if it agrees with her. And no, it does not. It is, even though she's a goblin and it's probably eaten, some things that other people would consider atrocious. For some reason, even though she loves cupcakes and even though she's probably eaten fish cupcakes are the most disgusting thing she's ever tasted.
She just kind of silently spits that out in her bag, and just pretends that she ate it.
Carly, after setting the tray down and filtering around the people, comes over to Noxie, leans in close and pats her on the head and whispers, "Oh, it's okay, Noxie. I'm sorry that you didn't like it. Hey, how about I make you a couple of really good chocolate cupcakes for when you come back?"
She nods.
Now you gotta come back. You see, you can't die out there. Can't let 1,000 teeth eat you. She boops Noxie on the nose.
She writes a card and it says, "It's okay. I'm the strongest member of this group."
I bet you are. I bet you are.
So Dovin is currently meditating for his spell selection, and he's just sort of sitting crisscrossed in front of Callie. And if you look closely, you can see like these little purplish pink, like almost like firefly glows sort of in the air near King Callie. But when he finishes up, he's gonna help himself to some fish cupcake.
Has he ever had one of the fish cupcakes before?
I don't know, actually.
Then let's try a Constitution saving throw for him as well. Nope.
So
Oh God,
Oh,
it's
no.
even worse for him. I mean, for Noxie, it was simply disgusting. For Dovin, I think he's turning several shades of green.
he's going to, as graciously as he can, bow out of the room and find some place to expunge the contents of this.
Carly watches him go and sighs. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to make him some more chocolate cupcakes as well. I guess that the fish cupcakes are only good for the sea folk. And she smiles over at the sea elves.
Meanwhile, Lobu is picking up the unfinished cupcakes and slamming them into his.
So, chocolate for the land dwellers, fish for the sea dwellers. Yes, that sounds very appropriate to me.
Noxie is now cleaning the chewed up fish cupcake out of her bag.
I haven't tried the fish cupcakes yet. Maybe they agree with tieflings.
Yeah, let's see. And she offers Dread one. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's kind of like the equivalent of a bran muffin.
I just kind of shrug and says, it's palatable.
I'm taking a few for the road. These are great trail rations.
Oh, I'm glad you like them, Topaz. How about I make some more special for when you guys come back?
Perfect.
Maybe I'll even start a side business. Maybe over in Saltmarsh. She says out loud, just kind of mumbling, but loud enough for all of you to hear.
Carly's Cupcakes has got a pretty good ring to it.
Oh, that it does. Yeah. Maybe if I don't want to travel for a while, I can settle down with a bakery.
Noxie gets an idea. Noxie comes up to Carly, and she holds up a sign. Can I have another fish cupcake?
She nods and produces one. Of course, sweetie. Here you go.
I'm gonna pocket that.
All right. Well, I'm afraid I should take my leave of you now. I've got some more business to attend to here. Now, you guys all be safe, all right? I want to see the same amount of people that back again as are leaving today. Well, maybe more if you somehow find somebody, but, other than that.
Speaking of, is Oceanus going to join us?
Oceanus is sitting there eating one of the fish cupcakes and hears his name and just kind of blinks over at Lubu.
Oh, yeah. You coming with, bud?
He finishes the cupcake and says, do you want me to?
I don't know. Still haven't seen you in action, but we are going to fight and kill a giant crocodile. So, whatever you're up for.
Well, if you think I can help, I do happen to have some weapons now, and he produces a trident and a light crossbow.
Let me ask the others. Guys, do you think we should bring Big O over here?
I've never seen him fight. Is he a good fighter?
Actually, haven't seen him fight before either, but he was good at getting captured.
You see kind of a bemused look on Dread's face. He says, "Oh, he's good at being captured. That's good."
I mean, more help is always nice, but we don't want to put him in undue danger if he's not ready for it.
That's true.
It's true, but I do assume he got those weapons for a reason. Maybe he's looking. I don't know. I'm not committed either way. I feel like we can handle this crocodile on our own.
You can hold down the fort here.
Yeah, I'll tell him to stick close to Carly, maybe.
Oceanus nods. All right, Lebu. I just hope that you guys will be all right. I'll keep an eye on Carly.
We'll be fine. Have you seen the magics that Dovin does? Supposedly he's got a spell that catches things and strings it up in the air, so I think we'll be just fine.
Oceanus grins and looks over towards Dovin. Well, I hope so. And with that, he heads out of the room to try to catch up with Carly.
Well, should we get going?
Yeah, let's get on our way.
Head out.
All right then. So the group of you make your way through the lizard's den, and eventually head back outside, heading in the direction that you were pointed out to. Further down the Dunwater.
They do give us their weapons back.
Yes, the guards at the door do give you weapons back, and they inform you in Draconic that if you come back with proof of the of Thousand Teeth's demise, that you'll be given special dispensation to carry your weapons inside the den. So you probably won't have to turn them back over again, assuming that you succeed in this quest.
Perfect.
Maybe we'll have to actually translate that for me since I don't speak Draconic.
I gotcha.
So, how would you like to move along? Would you like to find a way down the river? If so, we can just speed it up and say that you borrowed Carly's raft, or would you like simply to walk through the marsh in the direction that you were told?
Well, I think if the water can take us any amount of distance, that we would benefit from that. Especially because the sea elves are so at home in the water.
Yeah, it works for me.
I agree. It might save us some time.
Alright. Question. Did any of you still need to get any fish? Anything else? According to most estimates, it's about 8 hours to reach the lair of the crocodile.
And then I would definitely do my fishing spell, Luck of the Sea.
Okay. Let's see what you get this time. Trinkets?
Trinket, one trinket.
One trinket. Alright. Hold on a second, I'm looking for something. roll a 1d100 for me, please. You find a small locked box that is quietly humming a lovely melody.
Ooh.
It immediately stops, and you can't seem to recall it to hum it again. It's weird. Alright. So you got your fish, you got your odd new trinket. And you decide that you're going by the river.
Sounds good.
So, you have Carly's special raft, which unfolds when you put it down towards the water. She said that, okay, yeah, if you're going out in the river, this is a good thing to borrow. Here you go, and she showed you how to open it. And it can fit all of you. There's only 6 of you, and it can fit about 8 people. You have a general direction, and you start off. Who would like to take navigation, and who would like to take the charge of watching for things?
I can keep an eye out from on top of the boat.
Okay. So
I'll swim.
need a perception from you. And who's navigating?
I can navigate.
Alright, and I need a survival
Oop,
from you.
that didn't work.
I'm in the water.
Alright. Excellent navigational skills when it comes to the river, especially when it starts shooting off into small off branches. Yeah, so the first couple of hours go by, nothing. We'll need both of you to re-roll your checks. You're still on target. So, Dovin, as not so much Topaz, who's in the water, but Dovin, as you're staring off into the, around the water and like off into the woods nearby, you happen to spy a tree that appears to be moving. It's like, you can see it kind of in between a couple of other trees off in the distance, and it seems to be hitting at something at the ground.
I look entirely thrilled to see something so strange and bizarre in this place, and I excitedly pointed out to the closest 3 people near me.
Tree on tree violence is a terrible thing.
Does anybody know what that is? What? Have I read anything about it?
Roll a nature or arcana check. You definitely know it's some kind of moving tree. Anyone else
Can
want
we
to?
all do?
Sure. Alright. Lubu, you're overhearing this, what Dovin's saying, and you think back to something interesting that you read about land things. Something very odd that trees or something still fairly new to you, but you did happen to read something about moving trees, and there's are 2 basic kinds. There are the standard awakened trees, and there are treants. Not seeing exactly what Dovin's seeing. Are you in the water or on the boat?
I think probably on the boat this morning.
Right. So roll perception check for me, please, Lubu. Oh, okay. So, as soon as you hear that and think of, awakened trees and tree ants, you glance in the direction and you see what's definitely more of a tree ant and less of an awakened tree, hitting something on the ground, and you think you see something skittering up its arm that it seems to be trying to beat off.
Whoa, guys, that's I think that's like a pretty intelligent sort of walking plant, and something seems to be harrying him. Maybe we should go and help him out.
If you think so, yeah. I mean, it's not going to turn around and attack us, is it? I'd love to meet it.
I guess what would I know about tree ants from those
Well,
rolls?
you know that they're pretty. That oftentimes they're some sort of relationship with druids, and since you have a druid in your party, that's a good sign. And that you don't appear to have any necromancers or loggers in your group. So that's probably also a very good sign that the tree ant will be friendly towards you. Nobody that seems to be bringing fire along with them. Uh, they're pretty friendly people or plant people as long as you're not there to destroy a forest.
Are they stopping the raft at this point, or are they slowing down?
I think that they're stopping or slowing down the raft, given what the
I'm
conversation.
poking my head up to see what's going on. Why are we stopping?
There's you said a tree ant?
Yes.
A tree ant that could use our help.
A tree ant?
I'm just saying what he said. Wouldn't you love to meet one? A tree ant?
Looking over Dovin, what the hell's a tree ant?
I point to Lobo. He's the one that knows.
It's like a sentient tree, basically. We got all sorts of weird stuff up here on land.
If you were in
A
trouble, and getting
sentient tree. You want to go... Let me get this straight. You want to stop what we're doing, go help a sentient plant?
I think they're nice guys, from what I've read.
You're insane. You know almost everything that's even remotely like that under the waves will try to eat you the moment you get within reach.
No, that's true, but I don't know. This guy looks like he's maybe okay.
I want to meet it.
From what I know, they are pretty fond of druids.
I give a nice
But
wink and a smile.
Given Topaz's comment, you also know that tree ants do not eat animals or other plants, for that matter. They get their nutrition from the roots and from sunlight and water.
What do you say, Captain? Shall we go rescue the tree? Yeah.
I mean,
Noxie holds up a sign. I want to meet the tree person.
For fuck's sake.
it's
Rescue
not
tree.
too far out of the way.
If one of you gets bludgeoned by a tree, I'm going to sit back here in the water and laugh at you. Just saying it right now.
I'll
Deal.
go first.
Wait, you said it's being attacked?
Yeah, some sort of little bugger is all running up and down its arms, and it's trying to hit it.
Fine,
Yeah,
go.
we
Let's
should go
just
help.
do it if you're going to do it. I'll watch the raft. We're wasting time.
Dolan's gonna excitedly jump off the raft and swim to the edge of the river towards the.
Alright. Put your tokens down, those of you who are going to get into this battle.
Where's the raft in this?
Let's put the rafts about here. Why don't we? Actually, that's a good question. How about I put a raft token on here for now? Oops. There we go. Little raft for you.
All right,
Okay.
I'm staying in the water though, but I'm keeping it in place.
So, this guy is all the way over there. And as you guys start to approach... who are we missing? We're missing Dread still. Oh no, there's Dread. Sorry, we're missing Volan still. My bad.
Yeah, I'm reconnecting to roll 20. Hold on one
oops,
sec.
I'm sorry, I'll put your token down then.
Thank you.
Somebody was missing. And as you guys approach over here, you can see what the problem is. That several swarms of rats are surrounding this thing. Oh, 6, okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of rats. It's kind of all there, taking little nips and bites out of the tree ant.
Rats on rats.
Lots of rats.
Eat snakes.
By the way, this is what you guys see.
Ugh.
Oh, he's cute too.
I like
That
his hair.
face.
So,
Is that a third arm, or are you just happy to see us?
It could be both. Anyway. So, the rats do not seem to notice you guys at all. They're busy just attacking this poor tree. But the tree, as it's turning around and smashing the rats into as many rats as it can into the ground, seems to spot you guys, and calls out in common. Please, if any of you can help me, these rats have been set on me by a very evil druid.
Noxie
I
looks
got
at
you,
Dovin.
buddy.
Druids could be evil.
Apparently, I don't know why they would be. There's so many wonderful things in this world, but yes, we'll help you.
Thank you.
Lobu's immediately going to jump into the fray with a vicious mockery if I get a surprise round on these rats.
Yeah, you probably will. Well, actually, you'll be able to. Yeah, actually, I'll give you a surprise round. Just give me 1 second to figure out something here. Hold on. I keep forgetting that this thing automatically set to whispering everything. I hate that. Which means swarm of rats might be the same way. There we go. Alright. Five and 6. There we go. Yeah, so the treant gets one further attack before its turn, attacking the one of the rat swarms right in front of it. Let's see here. That takes. Yeah, that particular
Nice.
rat swarm is dead as it pounds down on it. Lobu, which one would you like to vicious mockery?
I'll take this one.
All right.
You rats think you're a rat king, but you're more like a rat popper.
The rats squeal a bit. Oops. There you go. And a few of them turn around looking at you.
Yeah, I said it.
Dread, you're first. Hold on. Topaz, do you want to get on initiative order, or are you just gonna just sit this one out completely?
No, I'm gonna watch for the moment.
Okay. Dread.
I'll move to there and attack that group.
All right.
Let's see.
You hear several rats squealing as you start putting your sword through some of them. But it doesn't seem to do too much effect given how many rats there are there.
Yeah, I figured it's going to take a while. It's my turn.
Noxie! What do you wish
I'm
to do?
going to I'm going to shoot these rats here with a crossbow.
Alright. You get your sneak attack because they're being threatened by 2 spaces. Ooh. So, your one crossbow happens to go through several of the rat swarm. It's kind of nailing it right at the treant's feet.
Alright, and I will move. Is this river like difficult terrain?
It's difficult terrain, yeah. It's not very deep, but it's, got a lot of mud, just a lot of things that can suck you in.
Alright. I'm just gonna bonus action dash in that case.
Okay.
And move up here. Behind these rocks.
Got it.
And then I'll end my turn.
Okay, so the swarm of rats attacks the treant. The treant makes another noise as the teeth try sinking into it. This swarm of rats also will attack the treant, but misses. Dovin! Your turn.
So I'm gonna cast Entangle.
Alright. On what?
I'm gonna cast it centered on the treant to get all the rats and not Dread. So I'm hoping the treant's strong enough to make the save. And the rats.
And unfortunately, none of the rats are affected by that.
What? Alright.
They're immune to grapple.
No. Okay.
That's something that you now know. That you now know as a character.
Yes, it is.
What's the save on that?
The save is 14, but as soon as I see that the rats aren't affected, I would drop the spell.
Yeah.
Like he passes it.
Yeah, the treant sees this, all of the rats basically scatter around the individual vines. You just see like the huge swarms, like it's all spreading apart, and you feel the vines, unfortunately, are just too big to affect these rats.
Shucks. Okay, that's it. I'll stay here.
Lubu.
Lubu is going to move up and kind of like swing his daggers around wildly to distract the rats and help Dread on an attack action against these guys.
Okay. So you're playing distraction, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Alright, that means I should give some kind of bonus signal to that. How about that for that? There we go. Yeah, so the rats turn, and they go after Dread because Dread recently attacked them. And miss as they attempt to bite at Dread's ankles. Another swarm completely ignores the vines that just tried to burst up to the ground a minute ago, and goes for the treant again. Missing. Volin!
I'm going to move 25 feet up to these two rat swarms,
Alright.
and I would like to bonus action raid, and I'll come down with the great axe on this swarm.
Alright. That hits. You bring your weapon around, and did you manage to cleave a couple of the rats in that swarm in two? But there's still a bunch of them just swarming inward and out. Some of them are even eating at the corpses that you left behind.
Yeah, and then I'll pass turn.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said I'll pass turn.
Okay. That swarm of rats will attack the treant. You hear the treant just kind of grimace again. You hear this like kind of snapping of wood down below. The treant kind of moves around towards the one that just barely got it and attempts to slam its fist into it. Slam. Slam. Let's see now. That is 9, and that is... So that swarm is very badly hurt. Dread. You have advantage on the swarm in front of you. Alright. Managed to cut down a few more that are inside that swarm, but they still keep swarming, and now they're very angry at you.
In this turn.
Noxie, what do you do?
I'm just gonna peek out from behind this rock, and I'm going to shoot at this one here. I don't think I can sneak it. Wait, never mind. I don't have sneak attack. I'm gonna shoot this one that they're fighting.
Actually, you do have sneak attack because of the treant.
Oh,
It's
okay.
friendly.
Yeah, in that case, I'll just shoot this one like intended.
Alright. Yeah. You kind of aim up your crossbow, and somehow you manage to get a good chunk of the rats in one bolt, and the rest of them just kind of flee off, no longer interested in the fight.
Hooray! I'm now going to attempt to hide behind these rocks.
Alright. Roll stealth. Yep, you're hidden. The rats don't even know you're there. Okay, that swarm is attacking. And misses. The next swarm attacks. And hits. Here's some more groaning and snapping of wood. Dovin!
Well, I'm just gonna do my old standby and frostbite. Frostbite the one that's standing in front of the swarm in front of Dread.
Okay. Alright. You hear lots of squeals as several of the rats just drop dead from the cold exposure. Others are still up and active, not seemingly affected at all by your spell. Lubu.
Yeah, this time I think I'm gonna. So since that guy is friendly, the treant, I could probably move over here and get flanking.
Yep.
And I'm gonna do it. Attack with my dagger, and then
That one misses.
again with my offhand.
But that one hits. You managed to kill one of the members of the swarm, and there's still several more around, but it looks like if you took out any more of them, that swarm will be finished.
Did he not get advantage from the flanking?
Oh, sorry, I forgot about the first one. I was paying attention to... My bad. Yeah, actually, no, that means that thing was dead after the first strike.
Hooray!
My bad, I was looking at that and forgot that Libu doesn't use the advantage toggle.
All right, that'll be my turn.
Swarm. This swarm of rats stops attacking the treant and goes for Volan's ankles.
And what beautiful ankles they are.
Yes,
They're
lovely and
very
green.
biteable. Completely empathize with the rat.
Volan.
I will come down again with the great.
And once more, you slash a bunch of the rats in two. The storm isn't is getting a bit diminished, but is still active, and several of the dead rats are being eaten now.
Alright, and then I'm gonna maneuver my way around 15 feet to get between these two swords.
Okay. Trant seems to be taking quite a bit of damage. Just says, "Thank you, thank you. But I think we're almost getting them all done." And turns and slams into the one above it. You hear lots of squealing as many of the rats are pulped. Dread.
All right. I'll move there, flanking that one, I guess.
Alright.
End of turn.
Yeah, some more dead rats, but the swarm is still active. You gotta love swarms. They only take half damage from physical attacks. Noxie!
Just the same stuff I was doing last time. Just come out from behind the rock.
The pop-up goblin.
Yep. And attack this swarm here.
Alright.
And am I hidden from them?
Yes you are.
Okay.
We're hidden, they're distracted. And you see several more corpses fly out from that swarm on one of your bolts. There's not many left.
And then I'm going to move to this corner here in the rocks and
Okay.
hide.
You know that you can not be hidden to them
Mm-hmm.
unless she says they're sufficiently distracted because
they are.
you hit them. All right.
They're busy paying attention to the treant. Swarm of rats.
Also, rats aren't that intelligent to begin with.
Well, I guess in D&D standards they aren't, but in the real world, rats are fairly intelligent
Yeah.
comparatively. All right, so that swarm of rats. That sort of rat turns away from the tree and goes for Volan's ankles. And misses.
Trying to touch my ankles.
That's all they can reach on you. The swarm of rats just continues on its assault on the treant. And misses. Dovin!
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna yell at the rat form above the tree and try to shoot away like, "Hey, get!" And then cast frost or frostbite
On which one? Okay. Constitution save. Yeah, so the spot where you're aiming, the rest of the rats in that swarm managed to all dodge out of the way as the cold energy just seeps into the corpses.
Drats.
Lubu.
Loba's gonna talk to the tree ant and be like, "Hey, buddy, you doing all right? Can you make it through this fight without me healing you up a little?"
I think so.
All right. And then he's going to vicious mockery this swarm, saying, I think your paws are fine, but your whiskers suck."
Got him.
Such a burn.
But they twitch their cute little whiskers at you, as if to say, "No, our whiskers are cute."
I'll get you next time. And that's the end of my turn.
So this swarm of rats, even though there's two other enemies around it, again go for the tree ant and miss. Fullen.
This little rat group back here is getting on my last nerve, so I'm gonna come down with the great axe again.
Alright. Once again, you've severed a few rat bodies. The rest of the swarm just looks hungry. Any more turn?
No, I'll pass turn.
Trant turns to this one here.
Really good, the tree ants on our side.
And again, pulps many of the rats. Almost
Okay.
done here.
This is taking far too long. I'm going to jump in.
Alright, roll initiative. Noxie.
I'm gonna go at a different swarm. I'm gonna come out here and actually I'm gonna move right out here and fire at this one.
Okay.
I don't think I'm definitely not hitting them out in the open.
Yeah, but they're distracted by the tree ant and by the other people there, so you still get your sneak attack.
Yeah.
Yep. And you somehow manage to finish the last of them off. One or two stragglers goes running off, never to be heard from again.
Alright, I'll just end my turn here.
Dread, what would you like to do?
Move up to there. Attack that group. I'm assuming I have the flank.
Yes, you do. Trant is an ally. Smack. Once again, taking out more and more of the rats, but the swarm just keeps... It's almost as if they're multiplying in there.
End of turn.
Dovin.
I'm gonna shout shoo and do another.
On this one?
Yes. I'm like waving my arms in the air.
Still does nothing.
Helping, I promise.
Attacks the treant. Ooh. Does some damage. Next one. Next one turns and goes for Dread.
Okay, and this is
Topaz. See numerous dead and pulped rat bodies all over the place, adding nice fertilizer to this marsh. And now it includes these ones, as you your spear through several of the remaining swarm, causing the rest of them just to run away. Anything else you can do, or is that the last of your movement and action? Sound check.
Sorry,
Oh.
just muted.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
Oh.
but I also thought that maybe on my side it happens.
Return. No, the unarmed has to be a. The unarmed has to be a. The bonus has to be an armed attack, I believe.
Do you have enough movement to get over here?
Now I pretty much went 40 and 35.
Okay.
I only got 5 more feet. Not going to be enough.
Yeah.
So yep, I'm done.
Lubu.
Lobu is going to move over here and just slash at him with daggers. And that's it.
Yeah, that swarm is looking very rough. There's only a couple more individuals left in it. They look ready to bolt at any moment. Volin.
I want this done with. I'll make a reckless attack with my great axe. Oh, my bad with the double roll.
That's okay. Either one of those would have hit, and either one of them would have been deadly because it was at 1 HP. Yeah, so you just basically bring your axe around and just destroy what's left of that swarm. The treant seems very relieved at this point. Oh, thank you, new friends.
Glad to help.
Dovin is just like excitedly like walking around the tree and just looking at him. You're a stunning creature. Plant, tree.
I think.
Do you have a name?
And it says something that sounds like a lot of bark groaning.
Oh, I'm not sure I could repeat that back to you. Sorry.
It's
Vocal
alright.
cords are a little different.
I look at the treant. I look at the rats. I look back at the treant. Why were they attacking you? I've seen plenty of rats on the sea on ships. They don't generally eat the ships. They don't
Yes.
eat wood.
I know that usually the rats around here, not much more than the occasional climbing me and trying to nest in my hair, my head. But there's a group of rather evil druids that have made their way into the swamps lately, and they sicked these rat swarms on me.
I look at puzzlement at Dovin too. I'm like, they can be evil?
I don't know why any druid specifically would want to be evil. Who tell us about these druids? This sounds absurd.
I don't know too much about them. They look a lot like you folks. I have a hard time distinguishing between races.
What do you mean, you folks?
2 arms, 2 legs, a head, maybe some hair, wearing clothes. Not lizard folk with tails, not centaurs with 4 legs.
No, I get it. Kind of like the way I see most land dwellers. No, I get it. That's fine.
Yes. Well, I do not know races very well, but they were wearing the clothes of dead animals, if that helps. Very noticeably clothes of dead animals, not simply the ones that might be dead animals or might be bits of plant. It kind of like looks around at the various clothing you guys are wearing.
I'm wearing seal
Or
skins.
the
I'm like,
metals.
a couple of us wear the skins of dead animals.
Yes.
What's your point?
That's true. I do not know the significance of it, really. I just took note of it when they attacked.
What did you do?
They were, well, they seem to be performing some kind of ritual, I think. And the treant seems a little bit lost for a moment. And so I came over to them to inquire about the nature of it. They seem to have been corrupting one of the younger trees in the area, twisting it up and making it gnarled. I was quite concerned, and they told me to mind my own, and when I told them that they were hurting the tree, they sent the rats after me.
Was this nearby?
Oh, no. We still have hours to go fight a giant crocodile. May I remind you all, we don't have time for cockamamie side quests.
If these druids are corrupting the forest, this is a much more pressing
I knew
matter
this was
than a
going to happen.
crocodile that's just hanging out in its cave.
Here's an idea. How about
serious.
if we have the treant come help us kill the crocodile, and then we help the tree?
The crocodile is hours away. If these druids are nearby,
I'm walking back to the raft. I knew that was going to happen. I'm going to be over here.
The treant looks over at the rest of you. I do not know how far they have gotten from now, but they took the twisted young tree with them.
Noxie holds up a sign. We can't have evil Dovins walking around.
that's true.
The treant just kind of stares at Noxie and says, "Why is the little one holding bits of dead plant up at me?"
Oh,
She
You know you're writing on his dead brethren, right?
Noxie goes wide-eyed and just pockets all her cards. And, like, starts backing away.
It's alright. It's just how some people communicate. Just a difference in culture. Right?
The treant is just still confused. But what does it mean? The little one does not appear to be aggressive. The little one seems upset, perhaps?
It's alright, Noxie. It's alright. The tree is just curious. She thinks you're mad at her.
No, I just do not understand what the holding up of the dead plant bit is about.
Noxie will pull down her wrap and begin to attempt to speak, but she cannot. So her mouth is just moving.
She seems to have met someone probably not too unlike those evil druids.
She points to her mouth as she tries to speak.
Were you hurt by evil rats, little one?
She shakes her head.
Lobu will like use his mind powers to link up with Noxie. You're like, hey, if you want to talk to the tree, you can talk through me. If you got anything in particular to say.
Yeah, I just want I want him to understand that I'm mute and I have to communicate using his dead brethren?
Yeah, I'll get right on it. I'll let him know. Yeah, she can't talk. She's I think someone might have taken her voice. So
that's
the only way
terrible.
she can communicate is through writing.
I've heard stories told of beings that steal voices. Perhaps the little one ran afoul of one?
Really? That's very interesting.
Someone stealing voices? What kind of stories?
Some old, half-remembered ones. I have not seen it happen myself, but it was said there are that deep in woods not unlike these, in some rather twisted areas, that sometimes old, haggard women will steal the voices of children and use them for nefarious purposes in some kind of ritual or spell.
Noxie visibly gets very uncomfortable.
Is that what happened to you, Nox?
It's similar.
Looking at Volan, are you doing this? This tree thing, are you doing this?
I mean, it might be interesting.
Oh God, fine. I go around pulling the raft out of the water and stowing it by the rock. All right.
Could you perhaps show us where this ritual was taking place, where the tree used to be?
Oh, yes, I can do that. It's very close by. I didn't move far from the spot where the rats started attacking me. I did try to get away from them, but they are faster than I am. Or were. The rest of them are all smashed now. Thank you. And the tree starts moving off in a direction a bit away from the water. And after just a few minutes, you come to an area where it looks like a little bit empty over here. There are a lot of leaves on the ground and some more crushed corpses of rats. And there are some weird tracks, as if not too unlike what you see with the tree ant here leaving behind, but doesn't appear to be quite the same size as this particular tree ant.
So can I do just a general inspection of the area and
Of course, roll an investigation.
try and make sense of what they were doing, like what kind of spell?
Ooh, yeah.
All right. So take a few minutes and just kind of study the area, and you look at where the tree used to be and some of the carvings in the ground around it, and you feel a tremor go up, a shiver go up your spine. Something sparkles a memory. Roll an Arcana check for me, actually.
Yeah.
And you remember this type of corruption ritual that seems to be showcased here. And you remember the description that the tree ant was giving you, and the fact that the tree spoken of is no longer there. It's some kind of blighting ritual where the evil druids, apparently, some kind of cult, if you recall correctly, are able to corrupt a tree and turn it into a blight.
That sounds bad. I'm gonna just sort of say this out loud, just sort of like thinking out, so anybody nearby would hear me.
What does a blight do? What are they?
I what do I know about blights?
All right. Let me get out the correct page so I can give you the most comprehensive details I can on it. See if I can actually find the correct page first. But I've spent some time studying it a while back. But I'm just trying to remember what page it's on exactly. Here we go. Blights. Awakened plants gifted with the power of intelligence and mobility. Blights. Plague lands contaminated by darkness. Drinking that darkness from the soil, a blight carries out the will of ancient evil and attempts to spread that evil wherever it goes. This is something that you know when you're hearing about this, and you know that this is some kind of blight that's been created. You don't know if it's something small, like like a twig blight, or multiple twig blights created from the same tree, or if it's something much bigger, like the blight equivalent of a tree ant or an awakened tree. But they're definitely creations of evil and darkness.
Why would these druids make these blights?
Because they're wicked, the tree ant suggests. They wish to they wish to corrupt the land for their own purposes.
It just sounds terrible.
Yeah, it is.
How long ago did they leave? Do you remember?
The tree ant thinks for a minute. I am not so good at time. It was a little while before you showed up and helped me out. I don't know which way they went.
Can I try and see where they went? Just like the general direction.
Sure. With your investigation check, you can tell that they're heading more in an easterly direction, which is further away from the water.
Alright, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope everything will be okay in time, Noxie.
Yeah. Alright, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Where is Jesus, I can't talk. Where's Saltmarsh in relation to
West,
where we are?
far west.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make the comment that they probably headed east. Do we want to track them down now? I'm not sure. I mean, if they're druids, they may be nearly impossible to find in the woods.
For frame of reference, the river you've been following is heading north towards the direction of where the crocodile is.
Okay, cool. And how far are we from the crocodiles at this point?
Let's see. You're probably about 2 or 3 more hours.
Okay. So I guess I'll turn back to the group and just sort of say, like, we could try and track them down, but running into a group of druids we know nothing about could be very dangerous. I'm not particularly dangerous myself, but if you wanted nature to do some pretty nasty things, do we want to maybe see if anybody in the lizard encampment knows about these people?
No, we're not going to go all the way back there for that.
Oh, I'm saying we could go deal with this crocodile, or we could go track them down now. I don't know. What do you?
I mean, I'm going to bet that this crocodile's still going to be there if we decide to go fuck off for a few hours. It's not going to leave its home, but these people might.
Okay. Yeah. Dovin actually looks kind of happy that you're suggesting to go take care of it.
I agree. They might actually hurt innocent people, and we must not allow
Well,
that.
they corrupt plants. They may corrupt the waters. The waters flow to the sea.
Also, they might have some sweet loot.
That's always a possibility.
There's always that.
And of course, having a tree in our debt is always great. Who doesn't want a tree in their debt?
A friend. A friend is better.
Yes. First thing I thought when I woke up this morning, boy, sure would be great to have a tree friend.
Wow, that's really fortunate.
Yeah, isn't it though?
All right, can we track these fuckers and kill them all so we can be on our way?
Sounds good to me.
So the tracks lead east this way. Shall we?
The treant, despite its size, is actually much faster than you would think, and keeps up with you easily as you head to the east.
How's he doing? Does he look badly hurt?
Compared to you guys, he still has twice your hit points. For a treant, he's about halfway down.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
Alright, I'm not gonna use spell slots on him yet then.
Yeah, seriously, he has 63 current hit points out of 138.
Holy crap.
So more than twice dread.
More than triple me.
Yep. Anyway, right,
This tree could have stood there all day, been like, oh, I think rats are chewing on me. Well, I'll sit here a while and see what they do.
alright. So after a while of tracking, do you guys wish to stealth, or do you wish to be out in the open for this?
I want to stealth.
Okay.
Do you have pass without trace?
I mean, I do, but I only have 2 level 2 spell slots. Do we want to use it?
If you want any chance of me being silent,
Yeah, it could be worth. Well, so let's see. It lasts an hour. Okay. Yeah, I'll cast it.
Yeah, so Noxie is is practically not there.
Oh, I needed it. 20. Or no, 17.
Holy crap,
Ooh.
even the treant is stealthier than Topaz and Volin.
well,
Well, maybe pass without trace was a good idea.
The lowest sneakers are at 17, which is still pretty good. Everyone else got over a 20. So with those scores, since nat ones don't count towards skills most of the time, you do manage to make your way quietly, and surprisingly quietly for the treant, through the woods. And it only takes you about a half an hour to come across a new scene. There, you spot between the trees several druid or fanatic type individuals, dressed in animal skins and what looks like deer horns in their hair, are all kind of gathered around several small trees and shrubs, seem to be performing some kind of ritual. They have several bodies of various animals staked out around it, so that the blood is just kind of soaking into the ground. And they appear to have painted symbols in the ground, either in blood or just scratched out in the dirt.
Lobu reaches out with his mind and asks Volin, hey, is it, should we just tear into these guys or what?
I mean, Yeah, it's gonna end up the same way regardless, right?
Seems true.
I am attempting to break off and circle around to the north of them quietly.
Okay, let me put the tokens out for the enemy, and then you can move your token to a good position for that. Oops, wrong one. Alright. So I kind of circled around that. You see just like various small plants just kind of circled around the area. Alright. So, what would you like to do?
I would like to cast heroism on somebody. If I can do it relatively quietly.
Okay.
Probably Dread, since he's close and doesn't get resistance to damages.
I got all kinds of resistance to fire, sort of.
Who's that?
It's good to be a tiefling.
Dolan's just gonna whisper, I don't think there's any good reason to make a blight. I think you'll be happy to know that I'm on board with attack first, ask questions later. We don't want to mess with these guys. We don't want to joke around.
Do we want to knock one of them out, or are we just finishing the job?
I mean, I can try and trap them with an entangle spell, and then we can attack them. We can. I don't have anything to take out a single person. Thought we were fighting a crocodile.
Should
Yeah.
we approach from different sides?
Druid spells are great that way, except they always affect a huge area.
Just keep in mind that if you get out from 30 feet of me, that
I checked that I'm actually within 30 feet. I'm right at 30 as I got into those rocks.
nice.
Who ended up with heroism again? Was it Dread?
Yeah.
Yes.
We should go before heroin runs out. Okay, unless anybody has a different idea, I'm gonna go ahead and try and cast Entangle again.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Can you put anything down that shows what?
It says it's a 20-foot square.
Okay. Can you put down a 20-foot square? Or do you need me to do that? Because I can do that.
I think I can do it. Except I can't count, and I keep on pushing the wrong button. 1, 2.
5, 10, 15, 20. I do think that's 20.
It is
Yes.
20.
Yes.
Yes.
So that, or like that. Up to you.
The first one.
Alright.
Perfect.
So everybody needs to make a strength saving throw DC 14.
you sort of hear cries of alarm. Whisper is. Dread. We have intruders! Okay, so this one over here is entangled. And as you watch, you see something begin to squirm as well that you also managed to accidentally catch in your thing.
Nice.
This one is also entangled currently. So we can have a surprise round for each of you, since they didn't see you guys coming. So, Topaz, what do you wish to do?
All right. Launch myself off the rock and take full advantage of that. Just dance around the edge of the plants and start beating this guy upside the head.
He's currently restrained, so that means you get advantage on him.
All right.
Did you roll for the third
Yes, I did.
druid? Oh, okay.
One of them, I was still in whisper mode at that point.
Ah, gotcha.
And he rolled a 17, so he's good.
All right. Spear, 19 for 6.
You see him struggling inside the vines and grunting as he's getting hit by a spear. Where the hell did you guys come from?
Your worst nightmare, sucker. I'm going to go for a key point and flurry of blows on him. Whack.
Holy crap.
Nice.
Well, he technically can't be knocked prone because he's entangled. But,
You can be knocked prone? You can be knocked down and still entangled?
Oh, that's right. Oh, well, that's true. Actually, no, I was thinking of, sorry, I went the other one. He can't be pushed 15 feet away. I hate when my brain does that. It just automatically reverses what I'm trying to
Not
say.
that it's any more of a benefit, but still.
Yeah.
And then kick him while he's down for the second flurry.
Let's see. He's still alive. You see him bleeding profusely from the nose as he's like, just curled in these vines, almost hanging limply, but in his eyes going wild. And he's like, ah. Dovin already got his surprise. The treant starts advancing. Dread, what would you like to do?
Is this difficult terrain?
The waterway is, yeah.
That is double 6, 10, 20. And 20. I'm going to dash 25, 40, 25, 35. 40.
Sorry.
So all I can do is dash over to there.
Okay. Lobu.
Lobu is going to move to about here, and he's going to shout at this guy, "You hippies should have stuck to your drum circles. Now we're going to be drumming on your corpses."
Oh, that's a good one.
Woo!
The pain.
Only one, but that was a paper cut one. That stung.
Hey, 1,000 paper cuts can kill.
True.
Volan.
I will move 20 feet and then difficult terrain 30. I'm going to reach back and chuck a javelin at this guy in front of Dread.
Alright. Javelin just kind of sneaks right over the top of Dread and somehow manages to arc down right at the druid.
And
did you rage?
no, I was gonna bonus action rage afterwards.
All right. And let's see. Have Noxie. Noxie will come up over here and fire a crossbow bolt. The same guy. And, advantage because it's surprise. Ooh. 19 damage. Ugh. So Noxie, being Noxie, somehow manages to land a perfect shot, shooting a crossbow bolt between Volan, between Dread, and right into the eye of the druid before you. The guy just lumps down, his blood spewing everywhere. And at this point, we're in initiative.
Good surprise round.
Oh yeah. Now you guys, with all your sneaking and deciding to use Entangle, oh, that was genius. Gotta love it when that happens.
What's that phrase? Love it when a plan comes together or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a bunch of twig blights that you can't quite see because they're not moving.
I was really hoping I didn't waste my rage, so this is
There's still one living druid left. He's restrained, but he's still alive. Okay, I think I got everybody now. Cult Fanatic goes first. It's like, how dare you interfere with this? And the Cult Fanatic will look around, look at Topaz, look at Dread.
Which one is that? This guy?
Yep, that's that guy over there with the biggest horns. And I believe this one can only target one person at this level. But he casts a spell and casts Hold Person. Which one will he cast at? And he aims for Dread. Hold Person.
Oh, goody.
Spell save DC is 11. Cult Fanatic just kind of grimaces as you succeed on that.
You have to do better than that.
The Needle Blight. The Needle Blight seems to turn at that thing and launches needles right at your face, Dread.
This is
Oh, that's right. You've got high AC. That's when a Twig Blight that's standing right next to you just starts to move, announcing its presence, and goes in for the attack. Advanced layer, token layer. Twig Blight claws and misses. Another Twig Blight stays put. Volin.
I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm gonna whip out my great axe and come down on this blight.
Okay. Are you connected? Because I don't see your token moving.
I did connect, but I can refresh if it's being an issue.
Might have to, because I don't see you moving.
Same for me.
The boo is twirling in place.
Practicing my dance moves.
There she is. Sorry, with that in Calada's initiative order.
That's okay.
Yeah, alright. I should be back on in just a sec. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
No worries.
It's all good. Yeah.
Flanking with the tree against the tree blades. It's a twig blade. Ugh. You only needed to hit that one thing once and it was dead. Oh, that's right. You only got the one attack still. But anyway, that one was dead. It's basically splinters into 1,000 little tiny twigs, all scattered about in the marsh. Anything else you wish to do, Vaughn?
I will move 5 feet forward and stay there, and that's my turn.
Alright. See, next twig blight stays put. Next twig blight stays put. Dovin!
I'll walk forward next to Noxie and the Treant, and then I'll cast Frostbite on that.
Alright. That's a constitution. Ooh, that guy fails. And that's also what? Disadvantage on its next turn?
Next attack roll, yeah.
Alright. Let's see. Noxie will step over here towards Libu and Kelly. Look around, aim at the needle blight, and go for it. Zoom. The needle blight didn't even know what hit it. And falls into a bunch of needles. Druid. That's me. Sorry. Brain. The druid attempts to. Let's see. If it's entangled.
Has to use its action to try and break free.
I'm just double checking something real quick.
Is he prone too?
I believe so, actually. Okay, restrained and prone. Which means it's just a disadvantage on attack rolls and can't move. It didn't say anything about anything else. What it can and can't do. But I imagine that being restrained, it can't use somatic or material components. It can only use verbal if it's casting a spell. And it has nothing like that. So it will use its turn to try to get out of the grapple effect. Which, it was a 14, right?
Correct.
Okay, so still restrained. Good. Your turn.
Okay, so this entangles for us is difficult terrain.
Yes.
I'll move to there. Attack him.
Alright.
Let's see, I need to tweak that.
Miss. 'Cause 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 ' perhaps some of the vines got in the way of your swing.
It's the end of my turn.
Lubu.
Yeah, Lobu, seeing one of the twig blights just kind of appear out of nowhere, would like to look around and try and see if he can spot any others.
All right, using the first tree blight as an example, roll a perception check. There's a lot of different shrubs all over the place in that battlefield over there, and a lot of them basically look the same as the one that just collapsed as a tree blight, or a twig blight rather. It's very hard to tell them apart. Before that thing moved, you would say it was indistinguishable from the others. Now, of course, it's possible that all of them are twig blights, but something tells you that's not the case.
I just imagine wasting my... I'm not going to do it, but I just imagine wasting my turn attacking shrubs at random. Instead, he's going to shout at this last druid and be like, I thought you were a druid, but you can't even get out of a couple of little branches surrounding you. Big whoop.
Wow.
Now that's an appropriate score for that burn.
Yeah, but unfortunately the druid wasn't even listening because he's so busy focused on Topaz.
And that's my turn.
So the treant leaps forward, and suddenly one of the tree blights attacks because it gets within range. Each of the tree blights hold their action for something that comes near. Holy crap. You hear a bit of creaking. Thankfully for you guys, the treant responds by slamming the twig blight. And it
Jesus
explodes
Christ.
into a lot of splinters as the treant takes one more step forward in range of the druid, and it repeats the attack. Hi, Lyra. And that is one dead druid. The druid that Topaz was focused on was just suddenly turned into paste into the ground and the entanglement.
Nicely done.
Thank you. He's one of the ones that set the rats on me. At least I think so. You still all look alike, but there's just something about that one. I'm pretty sure it was. And Callie's turn.
Callie is just gonna cheer on Lobu and Noxie.
Little click, 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 click with the crab claws.
Yeah.
Cult fanatic. Cult fanatic turns towards Dread and smiles some. I know this is gonna hurt us both, but why don't you take a bit of this? And he reaches forward to grab at her arm. But your AC is too much for that.
Yep.
He just kind of skids off the armor.
I smirk at him and say, good try.
Suddenly, the shrub behind him springs to life and lurches forward towards you. That's a miss. Fullen.
Seeing this new one in front of me, I'll move forward 5 feet and make a reckless attack, because why not? With my great axe.
Okay. And that's a smashy time for the twig blight.
Right.
Why am I not in the initiative order?
What the? We're at the top of the initiative order. Did we miss a full turn for you?
She's listed as 0 somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop concentration on the entangle spell now that
Okay.
both are restrained.
Topaz, I guess it's your turn then.
All right. Get over here and flank this guy. Dread. Try to run him through.
Oops.
If he's still up,
Yeah. Hit the wrong button. There we go.
let's see.
Did you see blood running down as you attempted to run him through?
Go ahead and spend the key point and flurry of blows.
So that just barely
That.
meets his armor, and what would you like the effect to be?
Make the save or be knocked prone.
Dexterity saving throw, alright.
Oh, he's very dexterous.
Yeah, he dances out of the way of your attack.
Oh, I might have missed him with that one.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised he resisted. All right, yeah, that's it for me.
Alright. Ah. Sorry, my cat's sitting on my on my mouse. So another tree blight springs to life at the orders of the cult fanatic guy, and this one also goes straight for Dread. For some reason.
Okay.
Sorry, for some reason my mouse is lagging a bit.
That hits.
Twigblight managed to draw blood from Dread.
Still one temporary hit point left.
And I believe it's Dovin's turn. Ooh, Hellish Rebuke. Well, let's see here. That's enough to kill. Oh, was that radiant damage included in there?
No, it was not. Sorry.
That's okay. I was just double checking because if it was, I wasn't going to bother with rolling.
Yeah.
Yep, it's dead. Yeah, your Hellish Rebuke sets the Twig Blade on fire. Actually, that's right, that's fire. That wouldn't need to roll anyway. Even half that would have been deadly. So yeah, the Hellish Rebuke itself sets the Twig Blade on fire, and there's just a pile of smoke and ash now at your side. But the Cult Fanatic seems very pleased that they managed to draw blood from you. Noxie. Noxie will line up her shot on the Cult Fanatic.
I think you skipped my turn.
Sorry. I think
That's
Stupid
okay.
Mouse did something.
So I'm just going to take a couple more steps forward and tell the fanatic to surrender. He's not making it out of here.
Roll persuasion or intimidation?
Tobin's kind of pissed, so I'm going to do intimidation. He's just a nice old man.
Fanatic just kind of laughs.
And I'm going to do standby.
And I'm sorry if there's a lot of loud purring at the moment. Ooh. He seems to be becoming more and more cold. Ice just seems to be forming in his hair and along his jawline.
Look a little frosty goat, man.
Noxie,
Rethinking life decisions.
Noxie lines up her shot. And once again, Noxie's crossbolt comes out of nowhere and skewers right through an eye. And the cult fanatic just drops to the ground. And you guys have won the day. Trian
Oh,
looks at you. Oh, no, they are. Trian just looks down at you guys. Says, "Oh, thank you very much. I don't know if there's more of them around, but I believe those were the ones involved in this perversion."
I certainly hope there are no more around, though. Maybe we shouldn't have acted so rashly if we wanted to find that out.
Turning one of them over with a foot, seeing if these horns are part of them or something they're wearing.
It appears to be something they're wearing, mostly like antlers from deer, just kind of come falling out into the marsh.
Should we search their bodies?
That was
Yeah.
just what I was thinking.
Just to see if we can. That might tell us more about them.
Yeah, that's why.
Roll
Yeah.
investigation. You find a couple of knives coated in blood on them, but you don't find much else. They're wearing very simple garb. Not quite as simple as Topaz, but close enough for land dwellers. Yeah, mostly just animal furs and helmets made of bone. Well, horn and antlers and such. But yeah, they don't seem to have any money. They don't seem to have any books. Other than the daggers, they have nothing much of interest.
What kind of animal furs do they have?
So they got deer leathers. They have a let's see what others. A few fox pelts. Some of them have feathers on them from various birds.
Can I grab some feathers?
Sure.
Is there anything?
What you gonna do with feathers?
Topaz later.
Is there anything in Druidic or something that knowing Druidic language would tell me about them or the area that they were, or the spell that they were?
Well, not on them. As you look down at the spell, you can see definitely this has to do with some kind of corruption, soaking the blood into the land to be absorbed by the various plants that they're then attempting to awaken into blight form.
I'm turning another one over with a foot and looking confused. Why are they doing this? Why were they doing this?
I would certainly want to know the answer to that question myself.
Hi, I'm Bob. I'm a goat fucker. I like to awaken evil trees. I mean, what's the point?
The destruction. I mean, they drain the forest. They
Why?
destroy things. I don't know. Could I mean, other than just being evil, like, what is the purpose of? Have I heard about any, like, you drain the life of the forest to power up some ancient evil artifact or anything like that?
Roll an Arcana check. You don't really know anything more than maybe that. Maybe they were just bored and were playing around. Maybe you have no idea what their eventual purpose was. All you know that they're now dead at your feet. Their bodies now decomposing in the ground.
Excuse me, I'm going to look up at the train. Do you know where the lizard folk live?
I believe it is to the south. They've been coming up from that direction for a little while now.
Yes, I'm just worried that there may be more, and we're going to be friends with the lizards for a while. And if you see any more, if you want help, you can go to the lizard folk.
Any more the strange people with the animal furs and antlers in their heads?
Well, that's a bit general. Any more people, any more evil druids like this performing
Ones that attack me or
that?
performing rituals. Alright.
Hmm.
Looking up the tree. Are there more of you?
Oh, there should be some more throughout the forest and the swamp.
Feel like killing a crocodile? Giant one? Bad one?
Well, perhaps after I've had some rest and recuperation.
Would the twig they're called, would they be considered plants or animals?
Can you repeat what you just said, please?
The twig blights that we were just
They are
fighting.
considered plants.
I'm gonna go ahead and ritual cast locate animals or plants.
Okay.
That tells me of any within a 5-mile radius, if there are any.
There seem to be more within about a mile of here. East.
More to the east. Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll take me about 10 minutes to cast that. So if anybody else wants to do anything in the meantime.
I'm just talking to the tree ant.
Yeah, the tree ant goes on to describe bits of the marsh and the swampland. It even describes the area that you speak of for the crocodile, since the crocodile has no interest in the tree ant and the tree ant doesn't seem bothered by the crocodile. It talks about this what it considers a very polluted pool far to the north. Well, actually, the 3 hours journey to the north. Talks about very brackish water that this crocodile tends to sleep in there. Is often hidden within the pool because it's so dark. You'll often find bones around said pool.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to try to kill this crocodile as a show of faith for the lizard folk, so that they will then work with us, which is a good thing, because if they don't, they'll end up angering the rest of human land dwellers to the west of here in their stone huts, who will probably come here seeking revenge and cause all manner of problems in the swamp.
Oh, that would be terrible.
So really, getting rid of this crocodile is kind of a preemptive insurance that that doesn't happen. If you want to come along with us and help us take it out.
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah. Oh, not at an advantage.
I will have to think about that. It is still a ways to travel, and there might be more druids around somewhere, though not close by as far as I can tell.
Fair enough. Well, we're going to be going that way pretty soon. We made promises we have to keep.
So I'm going to come up out of my ritual cast and mention that there are more of those twig blight things to the east. You said about a mile?
Yes.
And twig bites, they don't like exist naturally, right? These are
Correct.
only okay.
As far as you can tell, they are not a naturally occurring type of being. Noxie will hold up a sign asking, should we find more druids or kill Croc?
Well, that's the question of the day, isn't it?
You said they're where?
About a mile to the east.
What time of day is it now?
Let's see. It's been about 6 hours since you left. You left in the morning, so it's just a bit after noon.
And we're about 2 hours away from the
Two, th-
stomping grounds.
2 to 3 hours on the river. Yeah, with all the navigational pointers you've picked up.
Well, the treant seems to know exactly where the pool is where Thousand Teeth sits. So, if we were to make a quick detour, if it's only a mile, as you say, it's not too far out of the way, we could probably deal with them and still make there plenty of time to do what we came to do. I don't know about anybody else, but once we get there, I wouldn't mind a short rest, regather my key.
Well, we can take a break for lunch now if you want. Well,
I was about to ask if you guys wanted a 5 minute break.
I wouldn't mind a in-game 5 minute break, but I could definitely wait on the short rest, depending on how much key needs to get restored.
I think it's up to you, Topaz. I think you're the one that nobody's hurt, so you're the only one that would benefit from a short.
Well, far be it from me to hold anybody back.
No, I
Fight
mean like
just fine.
if you going into a bigger fight.
A short rest is only like 20 minutes or something.
It's an hour.
Hmm.
I'm probably not. I only have one level 2 spell slot, so if we do approach stealthily, I won't be able to cast my bigger.
How fast can our friend move? He can move pretty fast, right? The tree.
The tree looked like it was keeping pace with all of you.
Let's go. Let's go quietly and check it out, and then if we need to, we can back up a bit and rest for an hour.
Sounds good to me.
Go see what they look like.
So, do you guys want to do this now, or do you want a 5 minute break first?
I think MB said you wanted a 5 minute break.
Yeah.
All right, 5 minute break it is.
You ready?
Sweet.
And I'm back. How's everyone?
Welcome.
All here?
All here
Present.
accounted for? Present is good. Let's see, I didn't hear from everybody yet, though.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Let's see. Who did I still not hear from? Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, it was hilarious because we were told they were going to be there. Was at a winery that we always have the event, and we were told, okay, they're going to be down here in this field around 4. Nobody go over there. We don't want to photobomb their. So we all made it a point to stay away and
They
give
found it
them their
funny, yeah.
space. And then they came up later. We're having a big battle. They're like, hey, we want pictures with you guys.
And they found out about you guys. That is awesome.
So I can imagine that's going to be an interesting wedding album.
That's an awesome wedding album. You guys ready to continue?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, have you decided what exactly you wish to do?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go check out the twig blights, whatever they're called.
Twig blights, yeah. Yeah, the really little ones that look like evil baby Groots.
That's a good description.
Yeah. Baby Groot is at least cute.
So I guess the question is, do we want to use my last level 2 slot on a pass without a trace to try and get the jump on them again?
It worked so well last time that I would
Yeah.
suggest it, but also that ain't my spell slot.
No, I'll go ahead and do it. It did work really well last time. Well, how long does it take to walk a mile?
That depends, really.
If we're moving stealthily.
Let's see, that's moving at a slow pace. It takes 8 hours at a normal pace to do about 12 miles. So, less than an hour.
Okay. So let's walk. I'll cast it after walking about 10 minutes.
Or maybe close to an hour. Because it's slow pace. That's stealth.
Yeah, so I'll cast it after about 10-15 minutes.
Alright.
Ugh.
Oh,
Let's see.
Holy crap, that tree's practically unheard. And of course, Noxie is very stealthy.
So everybody gets a +10 to your roll.
So, Lubu is the loudest of the party. He's like breaking twigs everywhere he walks. Stumbling this way and that. If it wasn't for Professor that Trace, he would be so loud that birds would be fleeing from his approach.
I think he got bored and distracted and is just like touching things he shouldn't.
Yeah, that sounds like Lubu.
You're not swimming.
Oh, sorry, I'll try and keep it down.
So you guys continue on for a while, getting to the area that Dovin had sensed the twig blights, and you do see various little bushes that could be twig blights, could be just dead or unleaved bushes.
Can you force them out?
I don't know. Could try poke. Oh,
Well, duh. Anyone can poke it. I meant, did you have some way to do it, like a druid way of doing it?
I tried speaking a little druidic thing, like come out. But, I mean, like quietly, but I just like talk to the plants, and then I am assuming nothing happens, and then I just kind of like shrug my shoulder.
A persuasion.
Oh no.
Yeah, nothing happens. No way to tell. Dead shrub, twig blight. Could be either one.
I'm waiting for something to happen. Was something supposed to happen?
We're at the area where they are.
You're at an area where you sensed some twig blights, at least in the general direction of them.
Right.
But that was the ones that were within a mile of you.
Well, yeah, I could sense everything within 5 miles, but you said I sensed something within
Yeah,
1 mile.
you sensed a small cluster within a mile.
Well, this is eerie. I don't know. Poke some, see if they move. I mean, I can ritual cast it again.
I'll throw a dart in one.
Alright, make an attack roll. You find and kill a twig blight. Congratulations.
Oh my.
So it suddenly sprouts and falls over? What happens?
Yep. It just kind of breaks apart at that point.
Um,
I lean over. Found one. Your turn.
I can cast the spell again to see how many there are. Unless you want to just do that again.
You know, I would, but it just doesn't seem very glorious to me to go tell tales of how I ran or traipsing through the forest, throwing darts at bushes.
Well, not everything can be glorious. Well, the only thing is if I cast it again, we're going to lose Cast Without a Trace.
Alright then, let's just go. Come up, they come up. They're easy to kill. More concerned about those cultists.
Do I see any tracks?
Roll an investigation check. No, but the only tracks you see are the ones leading out here that you guys, well, just made.
I'm not sure where to go. Is there any sign of a ritual?
You don't see anything as you look around. You're still looking, your eyes still peeled for tracks, but you would also notice, or not notice for that matter, whether or not there are any more ritual ruins in the area. This ground looks like it hasn't been tread in a while.
Okay. Unless unless anyone has serious objections, I'm going to ritual cast locate plants and animals again for the twig blade.
Okay. You'll stand watch.
So, after about 10 minutes, you sense in the immediate area about 5 twig blights. You also sense at the very edge of your radius, 5 miles away to the east, there is at least one more twig blight in that direction.
Okay. I say this out loud. Is there any way I can use the sense of direction I get from casting the spell to try and identify the 5 twig blights that are nearby?
Roll an intelligence check. Yes, and you can easily point them out to each member of your party.
I do that.
And with the help of the treant and the relative strength and attacking ability of your party, you guys make quick work of the 5 inert tree blights.
So, excuse me. So I sense that there was another one, at least one.
At least one more, 5 miles away at the
Oh no,
The
not another
exact-
one of these.
limit.
Yeah,
Far to the
so
east.
I don't know how far we want to.
Our victory over the shrubberies is not yet complete.
These are evil creatures. There's nothing good about them. They are corrupting ones, but I understand what you're saying.
All right, so, and we don't know if we've gotten all of these bad druids.
That's the concern. But I have no way of tracking them other than finding tree blights.
I'm walking out into a clearing. Hey! Any bad druids around here?
I love this plan. This is the best
Goat
plan.
lovers? Come on, goat tree-hugging freaks.
Hey,
Lobo runs up behind her and
Not you, President Company exclusive.
starts just shouting, "Yeah, yeah!" and menacingly playing his concertina.
Roll a persuasion check. Or an intimidation check. Whichever one you find more appropriate.
Who, me or both?
Either
Him?
one or both.
Could I use my action to help
Sure.
with that?
Who are you helping?
Topaz with the intimidation or
All
whatever.
right. That not roll. Roll 20. Oh, yay! There we go. Advantage.
Even as you were shouting and posturing, a bird just comes flying down and lands on your head, just kind of scoping around the ground. Not intimidated in the least by your shouts.
Really?
Ah! Ah!
Lobo blasts it with an aqua bolt. Druid's by!
Roll an aquavolt. The bird gets blasted back and it just seems to be dead on the ground now. Drowned by the aquavolt.
Fuck. They're my friends.
Sorry.
Listen, what is the plan? Are we moving 5 miles east? I mean, it's getting harder to justify killing trees.
I don't disagree. We don't have enough information to find these people.
Yeah, let's just mark it on the map and maybe if it seems relevant later. I don't know.
The tree.
Yeah, mark it on the map. Bad trees and ignorant birds here.
The treant peers down at you all and says, "You know, Since I live in these marshes and you've already suggested I talk with the lizard folk if something happens, I will be happy to monitor the situation, especially if more of those evil druids that sicked rats on me are still around. Now, isn't there a problem with a crocodile?
There is. We really appreciate the help.
Well, you did bring up a good point earlier. One of you did. The treant kind of looks around. I'm sorry, I'm still having trouble telling you apart.
It was her.
Her. Alright.
I'm pointing to,
You two look far more alike than the rest. I think
We're
I'm going to have a
both-
hard time telling you apart.
Oh God, please no. We're both sea elves. That's I can't even. All right, let's just go take care of the crocodile.
Lexi holds up a card towards Dovin, saying, "This is how most people see goblins."
oh, that's so sad.
I'm
I
just
don't see
walking
it that
off
way.
towards the north. I'm muttering to myself, my head hung totally defeated. I'm going toward the crocodile.
Let's go.
Alright.
I still want to sit for a few minutes when we get there. No, not because I'm tired.
Alright. A roll
Do you want to just
perception
do
check.
that now?
No, we can wait till we get there. Maybe it's not as bad as I think.
As you guys spend the next couple of hours walking through the forest, at one point, Lubu, you hear the sound of ribbit, ribbit, rather loud again, followed by this crunch, 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 crunch. You hear more sounds off to the west, towards the direction you believe the main river is.
Guys, I think 1,000 Teeth is eating that frog man we let go.
Lobu, how do you figure?
That's just what it sounded like to me. I don't know. There's some sort of crazy sound coming from over there anyway.
Let's go. We can go check it out, or I can have Callie check it. Or Noxie can go look at it.
Noxie holds up a sign. Why me?
No. Sorry, you usually volunteer for this. Don't feel pressured into it.
And quickly scribbling, writes out scary noises.
We could form a stealthier team. I know I didn't do very well earlier, but I can stealth okay, Norm.
Why don't we all just check it out as a team? No need to make this harder than it needs to be. We can all be quiet, right?
Lobu looks
Uh-huh.
at Drad.
If you say so.
Well, let's go.
In an alternate universe, we're doing great.
Hey, Dredd did really well.
In an alternate universe, yes.
Still better than Lobu's score. And Noxie, even without the passive trace, Loxie is unheard. So, you start heading back east and eventually hook up with the river. And you see on the opposite bank there is a very dead giant frog that is in several pieces. One of its legs currently being stuffed down the mouth of a hulking troll that is using the large trees in the area for cover from the daylight.
Oh, that's not a crocodile.
Sure isn't.
Mean looking fella, isn't he?
Kind of reaches down, picks up another one of the frog legs, and starts stuffing it into its mouth, chewing heavily.
Maybe we could lead the troll to Thousand Teeth.
Well, that doesn't really work, but because we're gonna go take care of Child Teeth. But I also have no qualms with this troll.
I do have this scroll. It should let me suggest a course of action. Let me look over it real quick.
Of course, I don't know. Troll might be worse.
I mean, the troll's not doing anything to us.
It's a
not like
troll.
it's corrupting the.
It's a
Yeah.
troll.
But trolls are natural.
So is a crocodile.
Well, we're doing the crocodiles a favor. Also, it sounds like a mean crocodile.
What, you think that's a nice troll?
I don't know. I don't judge. I don't make assumptions. What do I know about trolls?
Roll a nature check.
Not much. They're not
Yeah.
from where I don't. Wow, I can't talk tonight. Getting tired.
It finishes eating the other limb. It seems to be sniffing the air, and it seems to be turning its eyes towards the direction that you guys are gathered in. Anyone speak giant?
Nope.
No.
No. But if he starts talking, I'll use Awakened Mind.
Seems to be saying something in your guys' direction, in a language you do not understand.
Lobu will reach out with his mind and be like, and at the same time...
What's the distance on your awakened mind?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's 30 feet. This guy's about at least 100 feet away.
Well, if I had to guess anything, I'd guess he's probably telling us that Cher is frog.
That's not very nice of him. Does he look like he's taking an aggressive stance, or does he look like he's just telling us to fuck off?
Roll an insight check. Okay, well, Lobu has no idea, whether it's friendly or aggressive. Dovin, you take a look at the troll, and while it's not moving anywhere forward, it does appear to be baring its teeth and growling towards you while it's saying something in a language you do not understand from across the other side of the river.
I get the feeling he's not super fond of us. Unless you have a strong dislike of trolls, Topaz, I think we should keep moving.
Oh, fine with me. It's a fight we don't really need.
I'm just gonna wave at him, like wave goodbye.
All right then. So eventually, a little ways after leaving the troll behind, you guys start detecting the odor of some very nasty, rotted plant life as the river, as part of the river kind of spins off into a more boggy, pooly area. Sorry to hear that, Emily.
Does it seem like it's natural, or does it seem unnatural, or is it just because it's a boggy area, things just kind of look weird?
Roll a nature check.
Oh, we nature a lot tonight.
Welcome to life as a druid. Yeah, you're not sure. You might have be a druid and all, but you're far more used to the smell of your libraries. So
True.
you're not sure if this is real, the smell of a den, or very unnatural.
Topaz, well, I'll take a short rest now. Sit down for an hour, catch our breath before we get too close.
This is a good spot. I've smelled battlefields before. It smells like that.
Well, I would certainly rather do it now than do it further in. Do you want to head back a little bit and do it? Or we have more cover?
How far on land are we at this point?
You're walking along the river bank, basically.
We don't want to be right here. We definitely do not want to sit down right. That thing could be on us before we blink. Pull somebody in.
Lead the way.
All right, I'm going to pull back about 100 feet.
Okay.
Find some spot with a clear view of the bank.
Okay.
I'm going to sit down and start meditating there. My back to a rock.
What do the rest of you guys wish to do while Topaz is meditating?
Lobu's gonna rest too.
I'll keep a watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll watch with Roland.
You can watch too. Rest won't help me.
I'm going to take out my ritual spellbook and cast Tensor Exploding Disc just for fun. And levitate Callie on it.
The crab clicks its claws happily. After an hour, Topaz has managed to recover, finishing off her meditation. Everyone else has gotten the subject of a short rest. What would you guys like to do?
Onward.
Do you want to try?
How close do we think we are to the thing's lair?
Well, considering the description of the layer and the smell in the air, it seems that you're getting very close indeed.
Maybe we want to poison some of those fish.
Yeah, we could poison the fish. I can set up the snare. I could do the locate. This is the actual reason I prepared it. I can do the locate animal to see if I can find him.
That might be extraordinarily helpful.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and I'll do that. So I'll use locate animals or plants, looking for what was his name again? Thousand Tooth? Thousand Teeth?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, just a bit more to the north, there's a large crocodile. There are some other crocodile indicators somewhere to the south along the river as well.
So how far?
A bit to the north. Hold on, I'm putting
Okay.
out a pond. I'm trying to find a good pond token. How about I just use water? Okay, so basically the entire region over there is a pond.
Is it the brackish
Yes.
looking water? Yeah.
In fact, I
Okay.
will read you the full description as you guys get a bit closer. The ground slopes downward into a tangle of marsh trees and a blanket of mist. Squishing your way into the shallow valley, you arrive at a large pool of brackish water. The pool is 60 feet in diameter. Let me see if that's actually accurate in there. And shaded by a canopy of vines and twisting branches. A gurgling stream at its northern edge feeds the pool. A few yellowed bones are visible in the shallows, and you see a great muddy mound rising from the pool's center. So 60 feet. And stream, let's see. I need 2 more. There we go. And there is a mound in the center. Mound. There we go. There you go. And there's trees all around this. Their vines kind of hanging over the edge.
Well, that's ominous looking.
Does this mound look like a giant crocodile sitting under the water?
It might. Roll a let's see what's the best way to put it. A perception check, and if it's high enough, roll a nature check right on the back of that.
So someone had mentioned using some poison.
Yeah, so the options we said, we could poison the fish, we could set up the snare, and I think those were the 2 main options. Noxie has the poison. Do we want to do that?
Noxie, hold up the vial.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll eat just about anything. Maybe if we had something, I mean, we could poison the fish, sure. Something bigger might attract his attention more. Might want to come up and take a bite.
We gave up both of those bullywug corpses, right?
We did.
They were being served at the dinner.
That would have been a good idea. And I don't have any more bodies inside the bag of holding.
Well, that's a lesson learned. We know from now on.
Always keep one there at least for.
I'm just going to object to this on a moral level.
Things every adventurer needs to have in their bag of holding. A dead body, because you never know when you might need one.
What about poison on the weapons?
Would the poison work that way?
Does anyone have a poisoner's kit?
No.
Even let's see. Let me double check on Noxie's thing here. Yeah, even Noxie is not proficient in such a thing. As GM, I would like to say that attempting to do so would probably cause all of you to become poisoned in the things, because none of you are proficient in dealing with such poison on a weapon.
Nice. Well, we should probably not do that then. Cool idea, though.
Well, let's just put a vial down one of the fish throats and throw it into the water and see what happens.
Noxie again holds up the vial.
Unless anyone has any objections, I'm just gonna and put its throat and toss it in the water.
Alright, move your token up. What's your passive perception, by the way, Lobu?
Well, it's 13.
Oh, before you toss it in the water, let me cast Snare.
Yeah, don't forget to move your tokens into a position for where you're at.
Where should I cast it? So it's just a 5-foot radius trap. Where do you think I should put it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, so it takes a minute to cast. So I'm going to try and walk up quietly to here and take out that's in my bag and start just sort of speaking to it and infusing it with the same little like firefly lights that you saw before.
Lobu,
I'm gonna try to keep watch for right next to him.
roll a perception check, please, Topaz. And Lobu, are you throwing the fish in, or are you waiting?
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Jeez. Okay.
Alright, so as Dovin begins to cast this, and as Topaz unsuccessfully attempts to keep watch, 2 giant snakes suddenly drop down upon them from the canopy above.
Okay, no.
There goes Lobu.
Yeah, that's what I was asking what Lobu was doing at that moment.
Holy smokes.
Wait, what? That big?
Yep.
Jeez.
Oh no.
So they each get a surprise round. One is on Dovin and the other is on Topaz. So each of them will attempt to constrict. The first one is on Dovin.
Thought that was a tree. What kind of a druid are you?
I wasn't looking. I'm sorry.
Dovin.
Well, 20 hits me.
So,
14 damage. Ow.
so yeah, it wraps around you and begins to attempt to pull you back up towards the tree. The other one is attempting to wrap around Topaz, but misses. So this one has you. And is beginning to drag you upwards.
Wanted a distraction. I only got one.
This isn't what I had in mind.
Oh my god, I warned all you guys about the snakes.
Lobu was right all
Should
along.
have.
Yeah. Well, Lobu also roll a wisdom saving throw for me because the snake
God, look
fell
at
out of
that.
the
What is
tree. Well, it came down from the tree directly in front of you.
I thought that might be a thing.
You're fine. In fact, you're angry because it's trying to kill your friend Dovin. It's attempting to drag him up into the tree and eat him.
Oh, thank God.
Right, Noxie and the trees. Where's Noxie? Oh, yeah, there's Noxie. Yeah, if Noxie had the ability to scream, she would right now. Because there's a giant snake attempting to eat eat what may or may not be her best friend. Most likely, what she probably considers to be her best friend. Okay, so this snake is happily pulling Dovin up into the tree with it.
Does it provoke talk of opportunity or anything?
I think it would from Lobu and Topaz, yeah.
Alright, I'll try to stab it on its way up.
Yeah.
Actually, reaction. Can't flurry on reaction.
It makes a squealing noise slightly as you do that, but it continues to drag Dovin up. Let's see. The canopy is how far above? 60 feet in the air. Yeah, so I'm thinking that the canopy is probably at least 10 feet up, and it drags Dovin into the tree above you.
Terrifying. Alright.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put a little thing on him, and a little thing on this thing to show that it's 10 feet above. Dovin, you have the potential of breaking free of this grapple with a DC 16. It doesn't specify, so I'm going to say you can use either your athletics or your acrobatics. Like, strength to push it away, or, dexterity to wiggle free.
Could I use Wild Shape
And
to
yes,
turn into
that
something?
is number 3, because you are a druid. You may use wild shape.
Nice. So I'm gonna turn into a tiny cat. Because cats always land on their feet.
Aw.
Maybe?
The snake is very confused at this, but you are now a tiny cat. Which means you're no longer restrained. But you're still
Sweet.
10 feet up.
Oh, well, alright. So I'm going to climb down. I think cats have a climbing speed, although famously trees.
Alright, the giant
cat,
constructor
but-
snake will get an attack of opportunity on you as you are fleeing away. In cat
I didn't
form,
think about that.
how much HP does your cat have, and what's its AC?
Cats have like what, 1 HP?
Something like
Cats
that.
have 2 hit points. They have an armor class of 12.
All right. Oh yeah, definitely got that. And then gives regular Dovin form an extra 10 hit points of damage as Dovin makes it all the way down.
1 hit point. Then I'm going to bonus action use Balm of Summer Court
Hold
on
on a second.
myself.
I believe that well, actually, yeah. I guess if you can run, that's right. You wild shaped. You didn't escape. So yeah, you still got that bonus action.
Okay, so I'm going to move away behind her big tree friend and cast Balm of the Summer Court. I should say 2 uses left, but
Okay.
you know.
What does your crab do?
My crab is either snake within striking distance.
One snake is 10 feet in the air. The other snake is still got its head on the ground. Its tail is still wrapped around the tree, though.
Okay, Callie's gonna run up to the snake that's closer to the ground and use the help action for whoever attacks next.
Okay. Volan, you have advantage on the snake in front of you.
Yeah, I'll come in with. Well, wait. I would like to rage,
All right.
and then I'll come in with a longsword attack.
Nice.
All right.
Heck yeah.
So that is 8 points of damage.
She had an advantage because of Callie.
Oh, that's right, because of the Callie. Almost forgot about that. You're right. So
Yeah.
make that 18 points of damage. Go Barbarian. This thing squeals in pain. Blood just starts dripping down into the water, into the brackish water. Noxie will take aim at the one that was originally holding Dovin and take her shot at it. 7 piercing damage. Giant constrictor snake looks around a bit in confusion. And it will attempt to wrap around Volan. Does that hit Volan?
What was the roll?
19.
Yeah, that hits.
So yeah, the snake wraps around you. And it begins to lift up into the air. Topaz and Dread, you get attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
You also took 10 damage, Devon. Do you need me to subtract it for you?
No.
Okay, cool.
It would be halved because of rage.
Oh yeah, 5 damage then.
Okay.
But you're still getting lifted up into the air.
Dang, nice roll.
Alright, first one hits, second one misses. Dread. The snake is now 10 feet above you. What would you like to do? If you said anything, I didn't hear you.
I believe it's technically a creature, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, come back down here.
Ooh, wisdom saving throw. What is the DC in your wisdom saving throw? Never mind then.
Nice.
On its turn, I will tell you what the results are.
It's a bonus action, so I'll just hold my normal action to attack it if it comes back down.
Alright, Topaz.
I don't think I would know that it's going to come back down.
Yeah, you can't see the glare that the tiefling is giving it.
So, and it's got Volan.
Oh yeah, it just grabbed Volan, wrapped around her, it is now tugging her upward.
Spending a key point on Step of the Wind. So I'll have a straight up 10-foot high jump reach from me. So basically I am springing upwards, trying to basically get onto the snake, and
How high can you jump again?
well, it's 10-foot high jump plus 8.5 feet worth
Okay,
of reach.
then you have enough to jump on top on the back of it. Got it.
And spend another key point for Flurry of Blows. And well, let me see if I can knock it out first off. Spear.
Alright.
And then I'll flurry on it. Do I have any kind of advantage for my relative positioning with Dread?
I think so, yeah.
Alright, I'll take every advantage I can get. Alright, so I'm trying to hit it again. And I'm trying to make it make the deck save.
Okay. Yep, that first one's the one that counts. So, you managed to knock it prone against the branch, which then causes it to drop Volan 10 feet. Volan, you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall against the ground, which is reduced to 2 because of your rage.
Alright, and I have one attack left. So it's still hanging on the tree.
Yeah, it's curled along the tree and is currently immobile up there.
Try to slam into it again. So I can't really knock it prone, but
it's prone as a constructor snake can get, really, considering they don't have feet.
Right, but it's not on the ground.
Well, yeah, because it's still locked onto the tree, but it's attached to the tree and can't hold anything anymore. It's kind of stuck where it is.
I know it's probably pretty strong, but I'll go ahead and force the strength save and see if I can't knock it all the way to the ground. Push it down.
Yeah, push would do that. Strength save.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's still holding on to the branch by its tail.
Yeah, and I'm in a great precarious position up there. I'm done. I got Volan out. That's all that mattered.
Yeah. Lobu.
Lobu's going to move back basically as far as he can and then use his cantrical bolt. And if that hits, there's a little extra. Oops, that's not good. But basically, make a ranged spell attack against a creature within range. On a hit, creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage, and if its size is large or smaller, it's pushed back 5 feet.
Is there a saving throw on that?
No.
Okay, just checking. So that means it gets pushed off the branch and splash down into the water.
Uh-oh.
And that's my turn.
Treant walks to the water's edge and performs a slam attack against this thing.
Oh my gosh, I love him.
So good.
There's a ripple at this point from the water, and the mound shifts.
Crap.
Yep, Roland's right. That was a good call. I didn't even think about that.
And you see this thing pop out of the mound.
We still have the clear. We never got the snare off, did we?
No,
Nope.
you did not. You got ambushed by the snakes instead. So that
We
was,
should be getting hazard pay for snakes. They're bigger than the crocodile.
so the giant constrictor snake, which is now in the water, pokes its head back up, unaware of the crocodile heading towards it, and goes for the. Well, yeah, it still goes for the tramp because the tramp just attacked it. Which it doesn't seem to do anything for. But it's still hanging out in the water. Dovin!
I'm gonna take a quick look around and make sure that there are no more snakes hanging out in trees.
Perception check.
Lobu was right.
These are the only two snakes you see in the immediate area.
Okay. Cool. So then I'm gonna move here, and then does it look like the crocodile's gonna start coming over?
Oh, yeah.
Hold the entangle spell until the crocodile is close enough to get both the snake and the crocodile. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
What'd you say you were going to do?
I'm gonna hold the entangle spell until the crocodile and the snake can be caught.
Okay.
I want to wait until the crocodile is a little closer to shore
Alright.
before casting.
Okay. So, as you're thinking that, you see that the crocodile is now speeding towards the snake over here. What would Callie like to do?
Callie, so the snake is up on the tree. This one.
Oops, hold on. I just realized that Thousand Teeth is not on the initiative order like I thought. I originally rolled a 10 for this guy. So, yeah, the snake is up in the tree. The other one's in the water.
Okay, so Callie is just going to move here, and that's it. That's all she can.
Alright. Volan.
I would like to climb the tree where Topaz is.
Okay. Roll an athletics check.
Ooh.
Right. The tree is somewhat slippery and it's really difficult to find purchase. You barely you end up using up pretty much all of your movement speed just to get up to the branch that Topaz is that Topaz is on.
Am I within range of the snake to strike at it?
Yeah.
Okay, then I would like to attack again with my longsword. And I'll make it reckless, because why not? So I'm going to assume that that's not showing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Alright. Would you be able to roll for me then? Because my
Sure.
internet is just, ooh.
Bad internet. And I think my cats are doing something, but I don't hear meowing. I just hear noise. Let's see. Great axe, longsword, 2 hands or 1 hand?
Longsword, one hand.
Longsword, 1 hand, rage damage. That advantage because of your thing, and yeah, that hits. And in fact, that kills that snake.
I don't even know how much it was, but I feel so powerful.
And unfortunately, I will be right back. That's a lot of noise coming from over there. Be right back.
Alright.
What do you guys do?
He did max damage, by the way.
Do you cause any problems? I know you're a good cat, but I'm hearing noises that I shouldn't be hearing at this minute.
This is going just as planned, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Use 2 out of my 3 key points on a snake.
Well, with any luck, the Thousand Teeth is going to make short work of the other constrictor snake.
Can I put out there that we shouldn't be afraid to run away after the snakes are taken care of?
Not gonna happen.
Oh, alright. Understood.
How's everybody doing? I mean,
Sorry about that, guys. It was the kind of noise that you don't want to don't necessarily want to hear. Coming from a cat and things not being knocked over. But I looked around and I can't find a single thing knocked over.
Don't you hate that? I've had that happen to me before, where I hear a thud, and you're like, what the hell was that? And you walk around and you're like, you can't find anything out of place. And you're like, I know I'm going to find it sooner or later.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to wonder if it was just one of the neighbors that I was overhearing somehow, and it just sounded like it was in my condo. So now we have Noxie's turn. Let's see, Noxie will scramble up over here, spot the giant crocodile that's swimming towards the snake. Oh, that's right. Yeah, before her turn, the giant crocodile actually gets another legendary action.
Jeez.
Oh.
And it bites the snake in front of it. Okay, I still don't know what the cat's doing, but the cat's doing something loud. And the snake body is just dragged under the water. You see blood mixing in with the rest of the dark liquid there. And now Noxie gets the chance to fire at the what she can see of the Thousand Teeth. Yeah, whatever my cat's doing, it's loud. But I still can't figure out what the hell it's doing. Let's see. New resistances? Nope. Not like that, anyway. So you see a crossbow bolt embed itself into the back of Thousand Teeth, but it doesn't seem to be much affected by it. And Devin, where did you plan on throwing up your entangle spell?
Well, they kind of changed when he just nommed the snake in one go.
Yeah.
I guess I'll wait for him to come closer to shore.
Alright, which is happening about now.
Alright, so I'll fire it now.
Thankfully, both Topaz and Volan are up in the tree, which they can't quite get to. So its swim speed is 50, and then it gets out and it's underneath those two, and it makes a first snap right at the crab. But Dovin's spell gets to go off first.
Hell, I know. So, strength save.
And I need to put up the thing. 20 feet. Which would also affect Dread or the Treant.
Can I have it be further back so that it doesn't hit them?
Yeah, it doesn't really take place in the water, so I'm going to make that like half if I can.
Okay.
So the
That's
water
fine.
just kind of swallows it up. Strength saving throw. Got it. 1,000 teeth is entangled. Its movement drops to 0, and its attack goes to disadvantage, but it still has an attack.
It does.
And my guess is that my cat was once again discovering the joys of playing with toilet paper. That's going to be my answer when I walk in there, but... So, it is going to bite at Kelly. Chomp.
She poofs.
No.
F in chat.
Actually,
That's
it's going to use its legendary resistance to resist the entangle. I
I
forgot about the
you.
legendary resistance.
Well. Well, at least the snare. Now we know that the snare wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah. And it passed the crab, but then it throws its tail around to right at Dread. Oh, wait, it's not at disadvantage because of the thing. So that was actually a 24.
That's the hit.
So, strength saving throw to see if you're knocked prone.
Strength.
Devin, do you keep up the entangle now that you've seen that it shrugged it off?
Yeah, I drop it.
Okay.
I drop it.
Okay, Dread is not knocked prone. Dread, what would you like to do?
I'm going to bonus action cast Wrathful Smite. I'm going to attack the crocodile. Let's see, so...
Damn.
Holy crap!
Wow.
Oh, let's see. I'll also take what, double Wrathful Smite.
19.
Oh my gosh. This is so
Okay, so
fucking
first,
awesome.
19 plus that is 25, then 34. Wow! 34
And it
damage
was-
just to that first hit, and then the second one, wisdom saving throw. And if it saves, is it half or full, and does it include the radiant damage?
That does not include Radiant.
Okay. So it's got a wisdom saving throw for that. And it will choose to succeed with its final legendary resistance.
So it's not frightened of me yet.
Right.
But it will be.
Then did you say it takes damage or no damage? It's half, right? Wasn't it?
For this, the
Psychic damage?
I think it's
Takes half?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Then we move over to Lobu.
Alright, Lobu's going to cast Fairy in
Very
such a
fair.
way as
Nice.
just the guy. And then with his bonus action, he's going to give his Bardic Inspiration to Volan.
Okay. Roll that fairy fire.
It gets a deck save.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember what Lobu's thing is.
12 is my DC.
And it saved.
Bastard.
Who did you cast Bardic Inspiration on?
Volan.
Olin. Bardic Inspiration. What do you do to inspire her?
Start singing a sea shanty about killing crocodiles.
I'm very inspired.
Yep, that's what that little heart there is for. Topaz!
All right.
You're sitting up in a tree,
Yep.
you're looking down at a giant crocodile.
Step along a limb and hurtle down toward the shallow water and try to flank this thing with Volan.
make sure to roll a dexterity saving throw to see if you take any damage from the height.
Okay. Acrobatics, or
Acrobatics, sure. Yeah, you're fine. You're a good monk. You landed in water.
come up.
Not gracefully, but fine.
No, I don't need gracefully. It's fine. Key point, flurry of blows. Advantage because of the flank.
No real flanking here.
How about if I was there? Would that be with dread?
That would probably work then, yeah.
All right, I'll do that. All right. Stab.
Yikes.
Flurry of blows. I would like to try to knock it prone.
-6, and that's a dexterity saving throw. Ooh.
Oh, it's prone.
Out of legendary resistances too. Wow.
And then second attack. 16.
Oh yeah.
It loses its reactions till the end of my next turn.
Ooh.
I'm done.
Treant nods to Topaz. Thank you. This should be quick work. Holy crap! We might not even get second round with this thing. You guys are good. And here I thought I had riddled you down some from all of the other attacks, but you managed to gain a treant ally. Slam. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, your treant ally that you rescued from those rats and then helped out with the druid problem comes over and simply, thanks to Topaz knocking it down and knocking it prone, just takes its fists and slams it right down into Thousand Teeth's head, splitting the crocodile's skull open and stilling it for good. The once mighty king of the swamp is no more.
I'm looking on in awe. I look at the tree and I want to learn your style.
Oh, it is very simple, friend. Just be bigger and, well, stronger than so many other things around, and then just crush them.
You've been a great help, friend. I won't insult you by trying to pronounce your name.
And with that, we will close up for this evening.
Since I'm already in the water, I'll be swimming over there around its lair and seeing what it had.
Yeah, and we will get to that first thing next week.
Excellent.
I can decide on appropriate potential rewards, because this thing most likely has something in its lair.
Conscripting the treant was
that
stroke of luck.
Yeah, that was all because of random rolls. I just kind of random encounter. Treant being attacked by swarms of rats.
The thing is really powerful.
Yeah. You saved it, you befriended it, you helped it out, and it came and helped you. Congratulations, guys. Really good thinking there.
Go team.